Don't be one of those who only pray when you're in need. We know those kinds of people, don't we? We have friends and family. They don't go to church. They don't think about God, talk about God. But then when they're suffering, they say, hey, pray for me, right? Don't be that kind of person that only thinks about God when you're in need, whose prayer life is nothing but request and supplication with very little, perhaps to no praise at all, who treats God like a magical genie in a bottle or a cosmic vending machine as a means to an end. Don't do that. Friends, don't forget God in the good times or the bad. Douglas Moo says, a reminder to turn to God is sometimes needed more when we're feeling good about life than when we face difficulty. Complacency and a self-sustained outlook can kill our prayer life. In other words, Moo is saying, when life is good, we often forget God, don't we? We often forget God. We stop praying. When things go the way we want, we stop praying. Perhaps that's one of the reasons that God often brings suffering upon us, to lead us back to Him. That's what John Gill said. Listen to what Gill says. He says, God sometimes lays His afflicting hand upon His people when they have been negligent of their duty, and He has not heard of them for some time, in order to bring them near to Him, to seek His face, pay Him a visit, and pour out a prayer before Him. In other words, Gill is saying, don't forget about God, or He may bring you down to affliction so that you might look back to Him. If you forget to look up, He might bring you down that you might look to Him. John Calvin says, such is the perverseness of men that they cannot rejoice without forgetting God, and that when afflicted, they are disheartened and driven to despair. Calvin adds, we ought then to keep within due bounds, so that the joy which usually makes us to forget God may induce us to set forth the goodness of God, and that our sorrow may teach us to pray. Calvin is saying, may the good times and the bad times lead us to Him. To Him. Thomas Lee says, prosperity and pleasant experiences in life can cause a person to forsake God due to complacency or worldly contentment. Instead, life's good times should lead us to sing songs of praise to God as the author of the blessing. When you experience blessing, look up to God, who is the very source of those blessings. To put it another way, bless Him who has blessed you. Bless Him who has blessed you. Again, Lee adds, Christians who face trouble often lose their awareness of the presence of God due to gloom. Christians who have elation tend to forget God in the joy of their good success. But both darkness and sunshine should lead believers to a consciousness of God. Don't seek Him in the good times and then forget Him in the bad times. Or don't seek Him in the bad times and then forget Him in the good times. No, when you suffer, pray. When you're happy, praise Him. At all times, pray.